A little while back, I smashed my face into a car door and broke my glasses. Not wanting to buy new ones, I went to Fusion 360 and spent maybe like 5 hours that day designing new ones. Now I have fully printable frames for like $1 whenever I need them, and well, having the designs in CAD means I can customize them however I want. The designs are my thinkers, by the way. Here's the idea. I want to do some more woodworking with that grinding bit I used on the chair, but I kept getting sawdust in my eyes, which obviously sucked. But now that I can design whatever I want with my frames, and I have the motivation to just kind of go for it, I'm gonna make some safety goggle-esque frames for my glasses. I know I could buy some super cheap ones, but they usually suck with glasses, so this way I don't have to worry about seeing what I'm working, and it'll be a custom fit. I will admit, I already tried this before, but it only like half worked, so I'm gonna call that a proof of concept. Now the way we're gonna go about this is by photo scanning my face using a somewhat free app called Polycam. I'm basically just taking a shitload of pictures of my head from all different angles so the software can parse them together into a usable 3D shape. It's surprisingly accurate when you give it enough data. Now we're gonna download it to my computer in the only file type they allow for free, .glf. It's kind of annoying, but you convert it to something usable in Fusion in Blender real quick, and then boom, we can plot my face into where my glasses are. The size gets a little messed up with all the conversions, so you need to scale it a little using some real-life measurements. I typically go for the distance between my pupils. No idea why, it just seems to work for me. And we pop it in my glasses and place them roughly on my face how I usually wear them. This part's a little tricky with the way you move things with the mouse and keyboard. Also, my face is squishy in real life, so I'm just trying to get the intersections right. Can't forget to convert the STL mesh into a volume if you want to use it for my face shape. I do this just by performing a split along the neck with a fill operation to close the hole at the bottom, and then clicking the convert mesh to volume, and it's good, just like that. Once it's all in place, you can take the general shape of the glasses and extrude it into my face. I projected the inner fillet edge to the drawing to make sure that the shroud wouldn't stick out from the final design, and then made a quick spline following the shape as best as I could. If I just used the projected lines, it would be a little choppy and then not extrude right, and Fusion's a pain sometimes. I added a 3-degree taper angle to the extrusion because a slight flare looks a little less awkward than just running them straight back. And then to thin it out a little, I just made some tapered cutting volumes out of the lens holes. Then I used the original frames as a cutting volume so I can make sure any parts sticking through the frames out in front can be cut off and removed, followed by my head, giving it the, supposed perfect fit. Learning from the monstrosity of my first version, which was all one piece, I'm then also making some cutouts on the sides for the arms to fold into. Finally, I'm printing up the final design with some fillets, and then combining the shroud with the frames to give me something to print out and test. For printing, you really have to pay attention to the layer orientation. They're the weakest along the layers, but much more resilient in perpendicular directions. So knowing this, I'm going to align the hinges as best as I can with the layer direction. The only problem is that the frames themselves are pretty thin, so to compromise, I'm going to tilt it about 30 degrees forward, so the smaller cross sections are stretched out a bit bigger. And now the weak direction isn't in line with the tension that'll be caused by the lenses. After a couple hours, we get this piece of plastic, and then a couple more hours, we get the arms. Now all you need is a tiny screwdriver and some tiny little glasses screws. I think they're standardized, so you should be good just getting some off of eBay or something. Just pop in the arms, screw them in, and then take the lenses from your normal glasses and shove them into place. It's a little fiddly, but with enough persuasion, they do go in. Now for the folding slots, I'm taking some tape and folding it onto itself along the bottom edge so there's a flap that covers the opening when the glasses are on my face. making sure to attach the bottom so that the sawdust won't like collect the bottom and make its way into the closed chambers. Now if I was a better creator, I could do some random tests that really don't prove much, but look cool. But honestly, I don't really feel like throwing things in my face, or recording my face in the first place. So, yeah, that's it. I'll be testing in the next video though, where I'm planning on making a table or something, so we'll be testing them with use. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and have a good one.